All right, I got Baltimore too. Hey, listen, that was my Super Bowl pick. All right, so I just got to write it until they buck me off. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
All right, well, I'm going to go with the Raiders. This is your final score here. Olivia, wow, 10-5-1, amazing, 8-7-1, and sorry, Jonas.
Oh no, like I really won.
So do I have to take Pittsburgh or else I got no shot?
I really won. There is nothing to do.
That's it. It's done.
That's it.
All right, so one more week of the challenge, and we will see you here next Sunday. For Olivia Garvey, Jonas Knox, I'm Mario Solis. The Channel 4 News starts right now.
NBC4 News starts with breaking news.
Right now on this special edition of the NBC4 News, a tragic accident at a popular winter destination. A Mammoth Mountain ski patroller has died after he was injured in an avalanche. Mammoth Mountain and the ski patroller's family announcing his death this evening. Kathy Barra.
I'm Jonathan Gonzalez. 30-year-old Cole Murphy was seriously hurt Friday while doing avalanche mitigation work. Another ski patroller was also injured, and they were both rushed to the hospital. Today, Cole died from his injuries. Mammoth says that Cole was an experienced patroller with a love for his career. His family saying that he called the mountain his second home.
The job of a ski patroller is not easy. These are the conditions Cole and Mammoth crews were working in during this week's storm. 22 inches of new snow came down, and avalanche risk forced the mountain to close Friday and Saturday. The mountain resumed limited operations today because the new snow still poses a danger to skiers.
Now to the danger on the roads in Boyle Heights. Investigators are looking into the cause of a crash that involved a semi-truck killing one person and injuring 15 others.
It shut down the 5 freeway for much of the morning. NBC4's Amber Frias walks us through dramatic video of the aftermath of that crash.
Video shows pure chaos on the southbound 5 freeway in Boyle Heights this morning. One car engulfed in flames, several others heavily damaged, and debris scattered across multiple lanes as emergency lights flashed across the scene. Emergency crews remained on the freeway all morning, working to help those involved and clear their cars. Because of that, the southbound 5 freeway closed at 4th Street for hours. The California Highway Patrol says the crash was reported around 5 a.m. and involved 2 semi-trucks and 8 passenger cars. They say 12 people were taken to the hospital. Their injuries range from minor to moderate. One person, they say, died. The CHP says one of the semi-trucks involved initiated a crash into one car and giving way to a chain reaction crash. For now, the investigation continues. In Boyle Heights, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
We have new drone video tonight showing yesterday's gas line rupture in Castaic. Is a view of what SoCal Gas is calling significant land movement near the break. If you take a look at your screen, this is near the 5 freeway in North Lake Hills Elementary. Crews are currently assessing the damage and making repairs to the pipeline. The shelter-in-place order was lifted last night and the freeway was reopened.
To our first alert forecast now and the impact of this week's storm. All of that rain is saturating the soil, taking down trees and rocks days later. Caltrans crews had to clear a rock slide from Angeles Crest Highway just north of the Newcomb's Ranch area. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Live time, Mount Wilson. We felt that Santa Ana almost first alert forecast.
Yeah, we had some breezy conditions today, but it's really going to turn up here on Monday. Right now, we're checking out this live picture of downtown LA. Temperatures currently at 52 degrees as we go over here and talk about the conditions, satellite and radar. Again, we've been able to enjoy plenty of sun today. A little bit there. System is sitting offshore. This is actually giving us the offshore winds, the return of Santa Ana winds, and it's going to peak here tomorrow. Currently, we're looking at sustained winds right around 10 to 15 miles an hour, especially right around Van Nuys, Thousand Oaks, Santa Clarita, that general area with gusts right around 20 miles an hour. But we can expect higher gusts as we head into tomorrow. We do have high wind warnings and wind advisories that remain in effect, especially for those typical wind-prone areas around the Inland Empire, around the San Gabriel Mountains, also portions of Ventura County, LA County as well. Could experience gusts around 45, even upwards of 60 miles an hour. Stay tuned. We'll go over that wind gust futurecast and also talk about the New Year's rain coming up shortly. For now, back to you.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. A South Pasadena mother is hoping to track down the thief she says stole her twin boys' e-bikes on Christmas Day. Surveillance video here shows a man wearing a hat walking right up to her home and then later walking away with one of the bikes. The mother, who did not want to be identified, says she gifted the boys those bikes. They were Christmas gifts. The bikes themselves are worth about $12,000.
Yes, on Christmas Day, after celebrating with family members, we came home, and about an hour later, this thief jumped 2 gates to get into our gated garage and steal 2 of my son's electric bikes.
The mother tells us she has filed a police report and is now waiting for a response.
A woman has died after getting hit by a car while crossing the street near Cal State Long Beach.
Police say they don't believe that the driver involved was speeding or driving under the influence, but that crash is now adding to an already deadly year on the roads in Long Beach.
NBC4's Macy Jenkins talked to students about their concerns with street safety.
As the year comes to a close, Long Beach continues to face an ongoing issue. Long Beach Police Department now investigating the city's 53rd deadly crash this year. At 8:45 Saturday night, a woman was hit and killed by a car on West PCH and Cedar Avenue. And just days earlier, on Tuesday, 2 people died in 2 separate collisions. One man on West Willow in Maine and a 16-year-old girl on Long Beach and Wardlow. Police say in that case, speed and distracted driving were likely factors.
I've noticed the last couple of years that I've seen a lot more car accidents on the road.
This map shows the locations of the 53 deadly crashes this year on surface streets in the city. According to state data from the last 10 years, Long Beach is California's 8th deadliest city for crashes on both surface streets and freeways. 5 of the 54 people killed this year died right along this mile-long stretch of 7th Street near CSU Long Beach. So I asked a few people who live here, what's the problem?
You know, it's like dark, it's part of the vibe, like the beach, the city life, like it's a lot of like younger folks.
Max Ash is a student at CSULB.
I've just seen around a lot that kind of young people drive a lot more like hastily.
I'd be running into so many drivers just nozzing it.
In other words, getting high off of nitrous oxide behind the wheel. And of course, there's typically a smartphone just a glance away.
If you do get a little buzz, you want to like check it real quick.
So what's the fix? Earlier this month, the Long Beach City Council voted to install 18 speed cameras next year at intersections where speeding and collisions have occurred.
Yeah, I agree. I support that.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, if you do that, it'll give some kind of like deterrent against people who are like deciding to be more on their phones or doing whatever, you know?
I don't know, like I feel like nobody ever likes to be watched or like monitored, so like people could feel uncomfortable by that.
The city anticipates installing the cameras in the spring and issuing tickets starting in the fall. Reporting in Long Beach, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
Now, we have reached out to the Long Beach Police Department about their ongoing efforts to reduce the number of deadly crashes. They pointed to education and enforcement, including DUI checkpoints and operations targeting dangerous driving habits like distracted driving, speeding, and sideshows.
At least 1 person was killed and another seriously injured after 2 helicopters collided in central New Jersey. It happened just before 11:30 this morning near a small airport in Hamilton. 1 pilot was on board each chopper, and one of the helicopters caught fire. Fire crews eventually put it out. The NTSB is investigating.
Tomorrow, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will meet with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. The 2 leaders expected to discuss Gaza and Iran. Israeli officials repeating their concerns that Iran is expanding production of its ballistic program, which was damaged by Israeli military strikes earlier this year. The U.S. also bombed Iran's nuclear enrichment sites back in June. This will be Netanyahu's 6th meeting with President Trump this year.
Brigitte Bardot, a French actress who was one of the best-known sex symbols of the 1950s and 1960s, has passed away. Her career spanned nearly 30 films. Bardot's face has appeared on statues, postage stamps, and even coins. NBC's Chris Clackham takes a look back at her life.
Brigitte Bardot, film star turned animal rights activist, took the world by storm with her sex kitten appeal and her risque film roles that shocked the Hollywood establishment. Born in Paris in 1934 to middle-class parents, Bardot always dreamed of becoming a star. She wanted to be a dancer, and at 13 entered the prestigious National Dance Conservatory in Paris. Her innocent charm soon landed her modeling contracts, and at the age of 14, she was trying out for movies. She didn't get those first roles, but she did meet first husband, director Roger Vadim. It was Vadim who created the myth of Brigitte Bardot, the sexy starlet. The 1956 movie, And God Created Woman, with its famous bathtub scene, written and directed by Vadim, made Bardot an international star. Despite her popularity, Bardot struggled with failed relationships and battles with depression that led to at least 4 suicide attempts. She was married 4 times, and the publication of her memoirs prompted one ex-husband and a son to successfully sue her for slander. Bardot abandoned the movies in the 1970s and found fulfillment in campaigning for animal rights. She was awarded the prestigious French Legion of Honor and donated her fortune and real estate to her animal rights organization. Many in the world will miss her passion and will certainly mourn the loss of a movie icon. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Still ahead, cleanup from our Christmas week storm not over.